Hello friends! Today we're taking a break from our regularly scheduled programming because we need to talk about self-care.
And I don't mean face masks. I've been keeping myself really busy with projects lately, and they're not working out how I imagined. They say you should challenge yourself by doing things that are 10% above your skill level, but I think I turn that up to 100 way too often. With my foreseeable future tightly scheduled into creative and productive routines, and with my insatiable perfectionism telling me that what I create isn't good enough and that I'll never be capable of creating what I imagine, it's safe to say I'm having a bit of a freak out. Cue sloth mode. When I get completely overwhelmed, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to create, I don't want to meditate, I don't even want to read. All I want to do is just curl up and cry and maybe order Uber Eats or watch Netflix. And that's when the cravings start. Maybe you've experienced this too. When you're feeling sorry for yourself and your brain kicks into gear and realizes that you have to take care of yourself, nurse yourself back to peak happiness and potential. Out come the face masks, the self-help podcasts, the super smoothies and super salads. Sometimes this works, but not always. The next day, with a shiny face and mounting backlog of projects, the magic has worn off. We need more. We are craving self-care. And this is when self-care becomes its own stress monster in sparkly disguise. Let's talk about what self-care is not. Self-care is not about spending money. You don't have to buy jade rollers and gua sha, deluxe face masks and matching silk pajama sets, $12 juices, $50 houseplants or fancy nail polish. In fact, if your problem is money, this is only going to make it worse. There is no financial barrier to self-care. Whatever you already have is perfect. It's been enough for your life so far. Instead, what you need to be spending is time. Give yourself the time to get better. Some ways of doing this are coming up at the end of the video. Self-care is not about glowing up. Repeat after me. I do not need to look better to feel better. I do not need other people to think I'm hot or feel jealous of me to feel good about myself. Consumerism has tapped into the self-care market to sell us even more image-enhancing false ideals. It makes no sense that when we're feeling rubbish, we're expected to slap on a face mask and scrub all of our problems away. Contrary to what all the overly positive marketing might suggest, sometimes deep conditioning, shaving our legs, body brushing, moisturizing, tanning, exfoliating, buffing, it all feels like a chore. Actually, make that most of the time. Unless you're particularly in tune with your sense of touch and sensual pleasure, in which case you might actually enjoy the feel of these processes, doing all of these self-care practices is more tolling than gratifying. But even worse, it targets us when we're already feeling vulnerable and teaches us that we're valued for our looks above all else. It adds to our insecurities. Suddenly, as well as not being able to write any songs that people over the age of 6 will enjoy, I also have huge pores, redness around my nose, split ends, flat roots, neck wrinkles, frown lines, back knee, the first signs of a bald spot, and one arm more tan than the other. When you're feeling down, self-care is supposed to repair your mood, not your endless list of quirks that rich white men have decided to name imperfections in order to make more money off our insecurities. So if a face mask makes you feel good, relaxed, luxurious, by all means do it. But if not, don't feel pressure to polish your look or even look in the mirror at all. Look inside yourself instead. Self-care is not about being productive. This may seem counterintuitive if your stress is caused by a never-ending list of things you're behind on. But if that's the case, what you need most is probably a break. Sure, when you're in a good headspace, you can push yourself and maybe even pull the odd all-nighter to finish a project if you've really stuffed up your scheduling. We've all been there. But when you're already crashing, pushing yourself too hard is only going to make it worse. Now is the time to stop. Stop posting on social media. You don't have to be sharing wisdom or inspiration or what you created today with the world. You don't have to be forcing the art out just because you're feeling sad. Trust me, you'll remember the heartbreak if you write about it next year instead. We don't have to live the cliche of the tortured artist. If you're struggling, sometimes it's best to stop. Listen to what you really want and do that. Then create when you're feeling well. Creating when you're in a good headspace will make your productivity as sustainable and healthy as possible. And I promise it won't make your poetry all lame and happy. So what is self-care? Self-care is genuine rest and recreation, and self-care is direct stress minimization. So what are some self-care practices that actually help? Do that thing you've been wanting to do and do it guilt-free. Dedicate the time to the task so that you don't feel like you should be doing something else. Say this dedication aloud to yourself. Say, "Today I'm going to watch an entire season of Buffy." If you speak to anyone else that day and they ask,
"What are you up to today?"
tell them,
Today I'm going to watch an entire season of Buffy.
move your body, not even to exercise, just to remember you have a body and it carries you through everything you ever do. Give yourself a massage, stretch and roll around on the floor. Put on your favorite album from when you were 15 and dance in your bedroom. Come on, I know you do it too. Take a long shower. Clean yourself head to toe. Breathe in the steam. Maybe don't even turn it to cold this time. You deserve to warm up your cold, dead soul. Clean your environment. I was always a ridiculously messy, clothes piled on the desk kind of girl. It was only when I started taking care of my environment that I realized it's true. Your surroundings are a reflection of your mind. Clear your surfaces, make your bed, vacuum the floor, open a window, and make sure everything smells nice. Play some calming music and then enter your space anew. Let the sights, smells, and sounds calm you from outside in. Give your brain something other than your annoying little life to concentrate on. Maybe go for a walk and notice all the small businesses or blooming front yards around you. Talk to a friend and find out what they're up to, what they've been watching, how their family is doing, what their favourite memories are. The world is so much bigger than the thoughts that we think on autopilot. Reset your stress with a new perspective. Finally, conquer whatever it is that is causing you stress in the first place. Overwhelmed with things to do? List them out and you might be surprised to see there's not that much after all. Underline the 3 things that are most important or urgent. Just do those and leave the rest for another time. Anxious about money? If you can, talk to your employer about your situation. They might be able to make things easier for you. If you need a side hustle, try selling your items or skills online. Already have failing listings? Try relisting in an exciting way, or contact friends and family directly to say, "Hi, I'm selling my books, clothes, starting photo shoots, offering hairstyling. Would you or anyone you know be interested?" Book those appointments. Just do it. You'll never know if that weird bump below your knee is cancerous like the internet always suggests unless you actually go to the doctor. Stressed about a relationship? Bite the bullet and talk to that person about the issue if it's safe to do so. If not, talk to someone you trust, a professional, or even just journaling might help ease your mind. Having an existential crisis? Give yourself time to figure your shit out. Mind map activities you love, your wildest dreams. Find some role models. March around the house and shout a pep talk about why you're great. You're a badass bitch and you got this. Try new things. Fail at things. Learn from mistakes. Learn for the sake of learning. If you really have to, you can walk through a cemetery, write some poetry, and then burn it under the light of a new moon. Pretty much what I'm saying is that in order for you to feel good, or at least normal again, self-care has to address the cause of the stress in the first place. And when the pressure of aesthetic, expensive productivity is labelled self-care, it's only adding to the burden. So next time you're feeling a bit off, remember that maybe crawling back under the covers for a bit is the best thing for you right now. And you don't have to post a hot pic of it on social media. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like or a comment. It really helps the algorithm. And if you're new around here, click the subscribe button. I'll be back next week for some more creative content. Have a great day.